round the pulpit over to here. People kind of come on down. Somebody's playing bongo drums in the back. So people don't notice this a lot. This is one of the doors in the church. We got a bunch of doors. What do you think? It is an exit door, right. So it is a door that is, because it's an exit door, it's almost always closed, which doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? But this is a door that we can get out like in an emergency. So what are positive and negative, what are some positive things about doors? What's a good thing about doors? It's a wall you can go through. If it's what? Can I go through it right now?
No, if it's unlocked, you can.
If it's unlocked, I could go through it, right?
Yeah.
So what's another positive thing about doors?
Another positive thing about doors is that you can go through it when you need to.
When you need to, you can go through it. That's a positive thing. What else is positive about doors?
Some exit doors are made for emergency, and if you open it, it'll set off an alarm so people can hear.
So some of them, this one is not. You're supposed to pull the little thing here if you're going out. But some of them automatically warn people, so that's a good thing about the alarm. Do doors help you in the wintertime keep out the cold air?
Yes.
They do. How about in the summertime when it's really hot?
No.
Do they keep out the hot air?
Yeah.
Not for you. Sometimes they keep out some hot air.
It's either always cold or always hot. No in between.
Do they keep out birds and squirrels?
Yeah.
Sometimes? True story, we had yard sale one time, and we had this door open because we had Grace Notes playing outside, and we left it open all day. And after yard sale, we had a chipmunk in the sanctuary for a week. Because he came in, and we couldn't get him out. Finally, we had to leave the door open.
Well, my dad had to legitimately eat a squirrel out the window.
Yeah, chase the squirrel out the window. We tried that too. It didn't work for us. Your dad is more talented. And this door, though, exit door, come here, I'll show you something about this door. Just look around inside the door. What's on the side of the door? Nothing, right?
Yeah, there's a light.
There's a line, but what's here? Nothing is there, right? So if this door, let's go back in. So if this door was closed,
Definitely keeps out the hot air.
yeah, it does keep out the hot air. But if this door was closed, we couldn't get back in because there's no handle, there's no key for a lock, there's nothing, and you can't get in. So one of the bad things about doors is that if we were all locked out of the church and on the other side of this door, we couldn't get back in. It keeps people out when they want to get in.
Not to mention chipmunks.
Not to mention chipmunks. But chipmunks are happier outside. But in today's gospel reading, the disciples, they were all inside and they had the door shut like this. And they would have loved a door like that because nobody could get in from the outside. They were really worried people were trying to get in and hurt them. But that also meant that the women came back and said, guess what? Jesus is alive. And they're like, okay. But they kept the door shut because they didn't want to go outside because they thought it was dangerous. And they thought, well, even if Jesus were alive, he can't get in, right? Because the door is shut. And you know what happened? Jesus was in anyway, right? So he didn't care. He could, unlike what we were talking about, he could actually come through and be there in the room even though the door was shut. And that reminds us that as we celebrate Easter, sometimes we think someplace we are or some way that we are is so locked out, so locked up, God can't find us. God can't get into our lives. But Jesus promises us no matter where we are, no matter how locked and shut things seem to be, Jesus will always be there with us. That's one of the good things about the resurrection. All right? So let's say a prayer. Dear God, thank you for raising Jesus. Thank you for raising Jesus and promising us that Jesus is with us always. That Jesus is with us always. Help us to remember that. Help us to remember that and to share the good news with others. And to share the good news with others. Amen. Thank you guys very much for coming up.